Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube exclusive video. It is November 18th and free agency is officially open. The most crucial offseason question for North America has been what is going to happen with Xmithie once his contract is over with Team Liquid. A lot of teams and junglers were put on hold due to so many people being interested in where Xmithie ends up. Will TL keep him? Will he retire? Who would TL get as a replacement if he were to leave? Where is he going? And we got answers to all that from Jacob Wolf today and ESPN. So it's Broxah to Team Liquid, the old rumor actually coming into fruition, and Xmithie to Immortals. Now let's start with Broxah to Team Liquid. Oh man. How will Broxah fit in? I think that's the very first question we should ask. And I think there's actually going to be a lot of growing pains. From observing his play in 2018 and 2019 and talking to the staff that's worked with him, Broxah is what I would call a system player. He really shines when his job is simple. 2018 Worlds meta, you pick Zhao, you pick Camille, you hit level 2 and you fight around Scuttle and you gank 24/7. Broxah was excellent at. And later on, when Broxah's job was simplified to just play around Caps and get him ahead, who Caps is pretty much a prodigy level player in Europe and I would even say internationally, he looked damn good. And also in 2019, his new job was play around mid lane 3v3 with Hilly and Nemesis. They struggled a lot before they could find a system or kind of a mini game plan going into every game that worked for them. But once they found it, Broxah looked good again. I think Broxah really struggles when he has to be creative. Here's an example. Broxah was able to 4-buff Tien in the quarterfinals matchup in FPX versus Fnatic, but Fnatic actually end up messing up the bottom dive, and Tien is the one hitting level 6 before Broxah.
Alright, there's the Devour already used. 2-man knocker, but one inside the belly. Gold card comes down, Crisp has gone low. Look at his thick skin, does so much work. Nemesis is going low. This is completely botched from Fnatic. It's a 2v1 in favor of FPX.
It was pretty clear, even when his team was able to get him ahead with a strong level 1 throughout the series, when he has to come up with his own plan on the fly or make difficult decisions, he isn't able to do it very well and he was out jungled the entire series. I will say it's not entirely fair to compare him to the reigning World Championship MVP, and the situation on Fnatic last year was so much drama. But yeah, still, I don't think Broxah is the best creative decision maker when it comes to jungle, and that's a huge part of jungling, like finding the right solution to so many different problems. TL is still the most star-studded roster yet for North America, and unless EG pulls a rabbit out of a hat, TL will go into 2020 being the favorites, but don't expect the transition from Xmithie to Broxah to be very smooth from the get-go. Now let's talk about Xmithie, who on the other hand is going to Immortals, the team he used to play for back in 2016. Fun fact, before Xmithie took Immortals to finals, there were only very few teams that had ever played in North American final. It used to be GG University, Good Game University, way back in the first season, TSM most obviously, Cloud9 and CLG, and now Team Liquid. Before all that, Immortals was the only other team to play for finals and Xmithie was the person that made it happen. I mean, let's talk about him. He's one of the oldest pro players still playing in 2018. I think he's 28 years old. He's even older than me. Jesus Christ, 28 is like giga young in any other industry, but in esports, that's considered old and that's considered retirement age. He's won 6 LCS championships on 2 different teams, CLG and Team Liquid. The only player who has more championships than Xmithie is Doublelift. He isn't the flashiest player, nor is he the best mechanical jungler in LCS. Xmithie's strengths lie in communication. Just talk to any kind of staff or player that's worked with him. He's also very easy to play with. He's someone that will match his style to you. He's flexible, and no one really trash talks Xmithie. I mean, maybe other than Tyler 1, who after playing with Xmithie yelled at him in a solo queue game, but other than that, no one really trash talks him. And also, he's amazing at catering to laners. Here's an example. In the spring split finals versus TSM in game 4, there was a super crucial 2v2 that Xmithie was able to save. You can see Jensen being about to get ganked, and you can see Xmithie about to go to Wolves, and he curves straight into mid lane, making sure that Jensen doesn't die. They get ahead, and they are able to take this game, which leads into TL reverse sweeping that finals.
Behind them, 2-0 Team Liquid.
Xmithie was there, right place, right time. They get both kills. First blood on a Jensen too.
I mean, It's a very like obvious example, and I'm sure there's a lot of junglers that can also do the same thing, but Xmithie does this on such a consistent basis. He's there exactly where he needs to be. He's someone with incredibly good map sense, but also teammate sense. So what I mean regarding teammate sense is kind of being able to smell out your teammate playing overly aggressive or knowing the tendency of an enemy jungler and just being at that perfect spot with incomplete information, and Xmithie is amazing at this. So yeah, I think he's a really valuable player and someone that's terribly underrated by Reddit, Twitter, YouTube. A lot of the things that he does well aren't very visible and sometimes nearly impossible to know without having additional information from talking to players or staff. But yeah, don't sleep on Xmithie. I'm so incredibly sad that he's going to Immortals instead of TSM. I mean, from what I heard, Immortals won't put together a championship caliber roster, and it's probably going to be the last few years left in his career, and it's going to be stained by going to Immortals and not really winning championships, and TL's still going to do well, and people are going to talk about how Xmithie was just carried by TL and rewrite history. So yeah, I mean, at the very least, I hope he gets paid. He was on older contracts that got shuffled around, so he probably wasn't very highly paid on any of his former teams, and this is one of the first times where he is joining a team as a free agent with leverage. Why I wish so much for him to go to TSM instead of Immortals is TSM's jungle problem stems from the jungler being too inexperienced or cracking under the pressure or not being able to have their own voice due to strong personalities on the team. I mean, we saw how Mike Young turned out, we saw how Acadian, Griggs, Spica, I mean, you name it. I believe Xmithie would have been the perfect solutions to this. There's still options like Dardoch or Amazing that can work, but he was my top pick along with Spence Garen for someone that would be the messiah to TSM's never-ending jungle problems. So that's my first coverage on the big giant move on what is going on with Xmithie. We will cover all off-season moves, so look forward to it. And thank you guys so much for all the love you have shown during the off-season. Be sure to subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. You will get to see my content more often on your feed, and I promise you I will only give you quality content. Oh yeah, one last thing. You know what's coming. I'm not crazy, I'm just loco. Bye you guys.